Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. Lighting and Fan. I'm having so much fun saying that. So, as I mentioned earlier in a previous video, I am currently leading my very second, as opposed to my very first Goddess course. It's entitled Goddess to the Next Level, and I was divinely guided to use my personal favorite goddess-themed tarot deck. It's a relatively new deck. It's entitled the Universal Goddess Tarot, and it was created by a woman named Maria Caratti and illustrated by an incredibly talented artist named Antonella Platano. I find it fascinating that Antonella's last name is Platano. Well, let me pronounce it correctly in Italian. Platano, because it's spelled the same way as plátano, which is the Spanish word for plantain. You know, like the big thing, you know, the big green thing. Yeah, the one that, you know, people use to make tostones, which I live for. Anyway, so something interesting and to me unusual happened while I was leading the 6th class, which was a few weeks ago, August 24th if I remember correctly. I discovered that some of the cards were missing. So here was a reader that was walking around without a full deck. Only people who read cards can say that joke, you know, really. So here I am, and I'm like, I can't believe this happened again. This is the second copy of the Universal Goddess Tarot that I've had that cards are missing. And in my mind, I'm like, how could this happen again? I don't know. I have not figured it out. The only thing that I can think of is that I had given one of the participants some of the cards that he was missing, that he had misplaced, and without realizing it, I gave him too many. Only thing that I can think of. Fortunately for me, a metaphysical store in my area has extra copies. In fact, I had asked one of the owners, to order some. And the interesting thing was, she ordered 6, you know, and she said that was the minimum she could order for her to order them. I might need those 6, seriously, because this is the second time. So, long story shorter, I purchased a new deck, purchased a new copy, and I purchased the companion pouch to go with it. And I have not unwrapped any of this, so I am unwrapping all this now. Because really, I'm like, so it's pretty. This, by the way, is commonly called the charmed symbol, you know, because of that television show, you know which one. But the correct name for this sacred symbol is the triquetra. Now, what I love about this sacred symbol is that it symbolizes so many things. Traditionally, let me see if I can do this. Maiden, mother, crone. Okay. Birth, life, death. Yeah, this is going to be a little more complicated than I realized, but you get the idea. So, think of any triplicity and you got it. Now, this is the day goddess. Actually, you're not going to see that very well, so let me unwrap this too. And these goddess images are not in the deck. They're not represented in the deck, but they're gorgeous images nonetheless. Okay, that's better. So this is the day goddess. I'm getting better at this. And this is the night goddess. Okay, yeah, I'm doing it right. Okay. I love Antonella Platano's artwork. She has a graphic novel style of art that is just beautiful, and I happen to love. In fact, I have all of her tarot decks. So let's see. In order of publication, The Gay Tarot by Lee Burston, The Witchy Tarot by Maria Caratti. The Witchy Tarot was renamed the Teen Witch Tarot. Now, recently I've been rereading yet again one of my favorite of Catherine Ponder's books, which is The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. And as such, I'm currently rereading the chapter on charm. No pun intended. And in one of the passages, she wrote about people that are critical do not have charm. They don't maintain charm. Now, I kind of have an issue with the fact that Llewellyn, for whatever reason or reasons, renamed that tarot deck the Teen Witch Tarot. I like the original name, the Witchy Tarot. I don't know why they renamed it. I really don't care. I would like it to go back to its original name, but I don't think they're going to do that. I'll get over it. Okay. Now, some of the tarot decks published by Los Scarabeo, which Llewellyn is their exclusive American and Canadian distributor, feature cards that are advertisement cards. Now, it just so happens that I have both of these decks. So this is a card from the Wheel of the Year Tarot, which was also illustrated by Antonella Platano. If I'm not mistaken, this is the World card in that deck. And this tarot deck I love. It's called the Tarot of the Pagan Cats. Here's what's interesting about this, how this deck came into my life. So, I used to work with this professional psychic who's very Christian. I don't have an issue with the fact that she's very Christian. But one time she said something that I found incredibly amusing at the moment. And then I started doing something that really does not serve me. I started thinking about it. And thinking about it more and more and more. And then I didn't like the comment. So she said that witchcraft comes from a dark place. I was just like, oh. See, again, I'm in the mode where I thought about what she said and I replayed it over and over and over in my mind. And, you know, it was very amusing the way she said it at that moment, but then I had to, like, fuck it up and say, I'm not sure I like this. Whatever. I got over it. I don't hate her. I almost never see her. She doesn't avail herself of my psychic services anymore, but it's okay. So, all that being said, now, this is the card that I'm going to use as the blank card of the unknowable card. I actually like including these kinds of cards in readings because sometimes the client may not necessarily be ready for the answer to his or her question, or rather to that specific question. Not surprisingly, this goddess is depicted on the Wheel card, more commonly called the Wheel of Fortune, and this is a Welsh goddess named Iron Woad. And I don't know that much about her. I just know that she is a Welsh goddess, and her name literally means silver wheel. There's a silver wheel in the background. And she is the goddess that governs the circumpolar stars. Those are the stars that do not set below the horizon. Oh, look at the back of the card. Is that not gorgeous? And I love how they took the Star of David symbol and placed it in the center of the full moon, of the triple moon symbol. And of course the triple moon symbol is one of the most ancient and, well, actually I don't know if it's an ancient and infinite symbol of goddess. I know that it is a very popular symbol of moon magic and of the goddess and of moon goddesses in particular. So, I'm not going to show you all the cards, but I'm going to show you a few. So, this is my celestial mother, Lady Isis. Don't she look fly in there? Fine. You know, it's funny, I remember reading about Isis being a sex goddess, and I never understood that. When I saw her, I'm like, oh yeah, I see her as a sex goddess. Athena. This card is so appropriate. It's so appropriate that Athena is on the Emperor card, because the Emperor card is astrologically aligned with the sun sign Aries, which is the warrior of the Western zodiac. And she is a warrioress. Venus on the Lover's card, how appropriate. This is actually the third goddess-themed tarot deck that I've seen with Venus on the Lover's card. Let's see. The Goddess Tarot by Chris Walter, and the Daughters of the Moon Tarot by Fiona Morgan. Those are the other two. Queen of the Witches, Hecate, Greek goddess of magic, prophecy, and the crossroads. And there's Erin Wood again. Kalima. How I revere her. Now I'm going to show a few of you and see which one, see if you can guess who it is. Look closely. For some of you, it's like, oh, I know who she is. By the way, her being on the moon card was not a surprise. And her being on the sun card was also no surprise. This one's what's called, no, I'm going to use a very popular expression, pop culture type expression. It's called easy peasy. Some of you are going to get this wrong, and I'm like, really? You sure about that? Okay. So, now I'm going to go through some of my other favorites. Mr. Prosperity loves her. Those of you who have the Goddess Tarot by Chris Walter, you will find this goddess very familiar, although not in this card, Seven of Coins or Seven of Pentacles, in that same deck. This card, I'm actually going to tell you who she is, and I will tell you why. So this is the Chinese goddess Nuqua, also known as Nugua, who is the Chinese goddess of divine order. But here's what's interesting about Nuqua. She and another goddess from a totally different pantheon, namely Aida Wedo, who is Voodoo Loa, or a goddess in the Loa tradition of Voodoo. Both of them created humanity from mud. And I find that fascinating. Here is a Chinese goddess, and here is a goddess from Haiti, which is the only way that I can pronounce Haiti these days. And both of, two different worlds, two different continents. Haiti is an island, so it's not even on a continent. And yet they both are credited with creating humanity from mud. I find that utterly fascinating. And, oh my goddess, I just realized they don't depict the names of the court cards. Wow. Oh shit. I did not even, I'm like looking at this like, wait a minute. I'm looking for King of Coins. I don't see King of Coins because it's not on there. Look. But we know who she is. I love her. And of course every cat lover knows who this goddess is. What do you mean you don't know? Don't you know? And by the way, this is not the first goddess-themed tarot deck where I have seen this goddess on the very same tarot card, which in this case is Five of Wands. Those of you who follow my Instagram, you know that I've been talking about this goddess for most of the day. Oh, that's right. Today is Sunday, September 13th, 2015. I love her. I revere her too. She has a lot of similarities. No, I'm not supposed to tell you. I'm not telling you. Yes, she is. Does that symbol look familiar? I bet it does. The temperatures are getting cooler and soon shall be colder, and she shall go someplace else. That's a good hint, by the way. A little cryptic, but some of you were like, I know who she is. And what about her? And what about her? If you have Goddess Guidance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, you know exactly who this goddess is. In fact, it's interesting. One side of her looks more green, and the other side of her looks more white. That is a great hint. And there you have it. So, I happen to love this tarot deck. It's become one of my personal favorites. And of course, I've been using it more often, especially since this is the deck that we're working with in Goddess to the Next Level. And if you have this deck, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. If you don't have this deck and you want this deck, let me know if and when you purchase it and what you think about it. I'm going to keep this shorter because I'm still at Rainbow Mountain Resort, but in less than half an hour I'm giving another staff member an intuitive card reading, and I want to finish up with my packing and preparing for that. So this video will be uploaded, and actually I'm going to wait until I get back home to upload it. So by the time you see it, I'll already be back home. But anyway, so thank you, YouTube. Thank you for honoring who I am and what I do. Thank you for being open to what the Goddess has in store for you. I wish you and yours many mountains of blessings. Bye. I love doing that.